Hello and welcome back. So in the last session we learned about for loops, and now in this session we want to increase the functionality or the flexibility of our for loops by introducing the keywords continue, break and pass. So first of all, let's create a list L with the elements 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, 11, 13, 14 and 15. And what we want to do now, we want to find the first even element in L. So what does even mean? So even means that I modulo 2 equals 0. We are introducing here a for loop, so for every element in L, and then we are having an if statement. If I modulo 2 is 0, then please print me the first even element is x. And if the element is odd, then please print me the element is odd. So let's have a look what we get here. And here we get, okay, 1 is odd, 3 is odd, 5 is odd, 7 is odd. And then the first element is 10, the first even element. But now you can see that the iteration goes on until the very last element 15. But what we actually wanted, we wanted to determine the first element that is even. And we do not care about any other elements that comes after the first even element. And therefore we can here include the keyword break. So let's execute again. And there you can see that the iteration stops once we have reached the first even element. So what Python is doing here, it iterates over the list. And once our condition is met once, so 10 is our first even element, we print it. And then break means that we completely stop the iteration here. Alright, as we are only interested in the first even element, we do not care about odd elements. So we don't want to print out that, let's for example, say 1 is odd, and what we can do, we can, instead of having here the action print element is odd, we can just say pass. So do nothing if an element is odd. And there you can see the only message or the only result we get is that the first even element is 10. And even we don't actually need here the complete else statement. So if we just delete it, then it also works. So now maybe you're asking yourself, why do we need the pass statement? I mean, here we just deleted the whole else statement, but let's assume we want to have the if statement the other way around. So first of all, we want to check if the element is odd. And in this case, we just want to do nothing. And if it's not odd, we want to print the very first even element. And let's run the cell here. And you see it still works, because here we're saying if the element is odd, then pass. But what if we completely cross out pass and just have nothing here? So if an element is odd, I do not care, I'm not interested in, we get an error message. So for an if statement, we always have to define an action. And if you want to do nothing, the pass keyword is just a fill word which we need. Otherwise we get an error message. Alright, so to have a better understanding how the pass keyword works, we are just here having the same code, but after our pass keyword we say, okay, even if our element is odd, please print me the element. And there we get 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and then the first element, even element, is 10. So maybe we want to print out all odd elements, but what if we don't want to print out odd elements? So we are checking if an element is odd, and if it's odd, we are just wanting to go to the next element. And there the keyword continue comes into play. So instead of having pass here, we have continue. And still we have print here, but let's look if the behavior here is different. And here you can see we are just having the statement the first even element is 10. So what Python does here, it checks whether an element is odd, and if it's odd, continue means please go to the next element. Do nothing and go to the next element. Even don't print it. So that's actually the difference between pass and continue. So continue is a keyword saying that please go to the next element, and pass is just a keyword for please do nothing. And to make it a little bit more clear, so let's assume we still want to find the first even element, but for whatever reason we want to exclude 10 as a result. Let's see here, so this is the code we already know. So if 2 is even, then please print the first even element is XYZ, and then please break. If we want to exclude that we get 10, we have to introduce another if statement saying if I equals 10, please continue. So please ignore if 10 is in my list, because I don't want to have 10 as a result. So and this gives me here 14 as a final result. So the first even element is 14 because I just ignored 10. Alright, so this is it for the time being, and I hope to see you in the next session. Bye.